Atlanta, VAR, and many others. Okay. Apologies for the lack of sound over the last couple of minutes. But, you know, it's just me and David blabbering on, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. We are just having a look at the season schedule, and, I mean, which ones stand out for you, David? Because, you know, this Porsche Cup car, it does enable us to really visit any circuit you want. We don't have to stick with the Grand Prix circuits, we don't have to stick with the club circuits. Which of them?
I love the tight ones in this car. So your Brands Hatches, your Road Atlantas, even the VIRs. Obviously, I don't mind Hockenheim, Sebring, the best tracks like that in the world. But I love these this car at the tight twisty one. So yeah, the Zandvoort, Brands Hatch, Road Atlanta, VIR, anything like that brings out the car control aspect of this car, where you're leaning on the suspension and the body roll. I think is fantastic. But a flat GP circuit like Hockenheim, again, I think it's great.
Absolutely.
I noticed Bathurst as well. How can I not mention Bathurst in this car? Not even sure I would like. I'm not even sure I've ever driven that combo, but it does sound excellent.
I mean, for me, it's nuts. It's fantastic. It's like the day before the 24 hours as well, so good prep for the drivers.
Yep.
I think that'll be absolutely mega. Love that circuit in these cars. Unfortunately, it's not in PESC this season. I was trying to Johan Hart the other day. He's disappointed it wasn't in there. Best race of the season every season.
It's a shorter schedule as well.
Yeah, it is. Season, so but then they brought in like Daytona and stuff, and he ditched North. So disappointed with that. Let's also have a look at the past champions as well for the season. It's a rich heritage. 10 seasons. We've had more seasons of this than any other ARL series, and we've never had a repeat champion. And I don't think we are this season, because I'm not sure if any of our previous champions are on the grid. But some pretty big names that you can see. I mean, Bo Albert, very successful driver.
Yeah, I was about to say Bo went on Altus and won the rally championship. Yeah.
I
remember him.
Michael Yanni, of course. Successful PESC driver now. Gabriel Salomon, last season's champion, was hoping to race this season. Unfortunately, he's got real life karting, which has got in the way. But watch out for him. I think he's going to be in PESC next season. I think he's now part of ARA, if I recall correctly, and very competitive. So yeah, it's a pretty good breeding ground for some very good drivers. Is this series? We have made our own calls for who's going to win the championship this season. I'll let you go first, and let's.
Well, have you got the name? I think my pro pick was...
He's really committed to this, remembers them.
Corey Lazarus, Luke Swan, and the team I went for. I didn't really know what way to lean on the teams, but a group of high I-raters, and there's multiple of them, so I think North have got this in the bag.
Why did you go for Corey Lazarus?
I would say his I-rating stood out. Like, I don't usually just go on I-rating, especially on a car like this, but it's... I think I saw like a 1600 advantage to P3, so I just played the numbers game.
And why did you go for Luke Swan?
The name rung a bell. Is the biggest reason I did. And if the name rung
so what from?
I assume from racing myself. Like,
okay.
So yeah, if his name rings a bell and he's, what was he, 3 odd K, then I'm assuming he's quick.
Sure.
Hopefully it's not the reverse, that he's always in the way, Span, and I'm moaning.
Well, clearly he's similar level to you.
Yeah, I don't know. The name just rang a bell, and it stood out. As soon as I saw the sheet, the name stood out.
Sure. Well, I went for Dimbelow. He raced the last couple of races from last season. He's only like 3K, is Dimbelow, but I've still put him as my pro champion because he was rapid last season, and he is like 6K pace. Thomas Verm, because he's experienced, he knows what he's doing for the Ants, and Simray Sweden, of course, former F3 champions. May as well go for them. So yeah, some fairly different picks. Glyn BT saying, come on THR. We didn't go for them to win the team's championship, but maybe they will surprise us. Let's have a look at the track for this round. We have got Hockenheim in store for us, and it's a pretty dangerous circuit on lap 1, I would say. Correct. That turn 1 and then the turn 6 happen as well.
Turn 1 is all commit. I mean, even in qualifying, especially on your first lap, where I'm not sort of the banker sort of guy. I want to get that lap on the first lap, so I don't have to think about it. It's really hard to judge how much you can push and track out for the off track. And in the race, It's not so easy because you would think just tracking out and opening up the wheel, but in this car with the suspension, it's easy to get caught in one of the bumps and be sent either into the wall or back onto the track, and then it's very hard to dodge. And yeah, I mean, T6 hairpin in this car, if one person locks up and he's in 7th, then we have big trouble. Yeah. Because by the time the leaders go to turn, he's piling in. But it does make for good racing. It does settle out this track. People just need to be safe in the hairpin on lap 1, usually. Focusing on your exit and just nailing your braking point is the key. Not trying to outbrake people 2, 3 wide. Because especially if you're that 3rd wide, not only are you probably going to lock, but you'll be parked so long.
You've got to slow so much.
So much, correct. Yeah. You'll get caught in something.
Exactly. And then of course we join on to sort of the older part of the circuit. I would like for iRacing to add the old version of this track because, yeah, why not? And of course you join that onto T10, and then you got the stadium section. Easy to make an error, very few overtaking chances, albeit when we were racing here in Racing Unleashed, and a few people may have seen that race on Sunday, a lot of moves going into turn 15, that's the penultimate corner, and diving up the inside there. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe 1 or 2 of those moves, particularly in race 2 later on.
Yeah, for sure. Just look after the tyres. I mean, it's 2 sprint races, right? So it's less tyre dominated. But I think this car, just getting your tyres hot is a real performance limiter. Big performance limiter in this car.
Yes, it will be quite a limit for that one. Just not too long to go. Of course, we've got 25-minute race 1 and a 30-minute race 2. The top 10 are inverted from the race 1 results to form the race 2 grid. So we've got all that to look forward to, plus qualifying, which is just getting underway now. We will transfer over to the track to see what the pecking order is like. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes' time.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome trackside to Hockenheim. We are in the very early stages of a 20 minutes qualifying session. And first up, it will be the AM drivers who go, and then it will be the pro drivers who get the final 12 minutes. We kind of got quite used to this format from last season, David, with the GT3s.
Yep.
First qualifying of the season, do you think it might take a little bit extra time for the drivers to get in a lap time that they're happy with?
For sure. T1 is your entire lap for the most part because of the off-track or just genuinely not carrying enough. I find there can be an easy 4.5 tenths sway in just under-committing, worrying about the off-track. Or if you fully commit, make it in. It depends how much they're willing to ride that inside apex and how much they have faith in the laps they've practiced. The rest of the lap, as long as they don't lock up and they just key in their turning points and braking points. I mean, this is one of my favourite tracks to run sprint races in. I don't mind multi-class here. To be honest, I don't mind many tracks, but I think this is one of my favourite sprint tracks. And in this car, it just asks a lot of you. I've always been a fan of Hockenheim racing. Always have been. So you ride on board with Nick Horn.
Not the lowest iRacing driver this season. He's taking an upgrade. It's Nick. This season, he is the second lowest iRacing driver. The lowest driver is his teammate.
He's really just driving that asphalt at the moment. Is the best description I can give. Let's see if he starts widening the track a little bit. It might just be an outlap things.
He's using curbs.
Yeah, but this is
he didn't
Hockenheim.
use that one.
Yeah, you got to use all the green. Here you got to get onto the left curb, all on it. Yep, clip this inside curb. Nice, run out.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's a master.
Pretty good. Spot your braking point. It's nice. This is a tricky corner here. I actually don't know the answer to T2. T2, if you can go deep, get on the early throttle and light throttle and try and carry speed, or you can slow excessively, focus on your rotation and get the throttle nailed nice and early and heavy. I prefer the latter.
Will be fun in the wets. I think T2, 3 and 4.
Everything's funner in the wet.
Unfortunately, not going to be a thing for this season, unless they. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they enable it like the week after PESC ends, but I'd be angry if they do, because let's just have it now. You don't need to implement it on PESC.
I assume
have it as
that
an option
is
now.
all we're waiting for. This is all just to do with PESC, the only reason this car was delayed.
Surely it is.
We know this was the first car they worked on. It was the first photos they shared.
Like they've added it to like 7 GT3s.
Yeah.
You know, it's all one
Bush Cup.
Porsche Cup, you know.
Hello to everyone in chat. Lewis, Thomas, Jono, Hotel, Milo, Glyn, Griffin, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day. We're watching the AM drivers currently.
Yes. Well, we say the term AM drivers, but you can see there are 3 green stripes because that is 3 pro drivers have set times during amateur qualifying. They will be getting penalties for that, potentially. It is round 1. We sometimes see it. But, yes.
Yeah, I just noticed that in chat. Why is there pro drivers on track? Nick, we have no idea. One of them's in the pit, probably thinking, damn it, I hope they didn't notice.
If they stay in the pits for the rest of the session, they might get less of a penalty, but it is very likely they'll get a penalty. Tommy Strees as well is the same. But we'll see how that changes. Currently, Christensen on pole position, one of the new drivers to the series. Chalet has taken part before. Ewan Bremer has taken part before as well. One of the many Dutch drivers racing for Simrace Sweden. Forsland in 4th place, Bernard. And Kevin Richard. Richard, quite an experienced driver as well in the series. And here's my pick for the championship, Thomas Firm. And your pick, Swan, in 8th place. We're not looking good right now.
My idea will mature over the season. Don't worry.
Okay. So you're not giving up yet. That's good.
No, not giving up yet. I see the question about 360 hertz. If you stick around to later on tonight, we'll be doing the late Apex podcast, and that question is the main topic, I think.
Yep. And David has tested it himself.
I have thoroughly tested it.
I will be going.
I had spanner and tools out the moment it dropped. The moment it dropped. Yeah,
plenty more sim racing news. Lots of little bits of sim racing news, and some fantastic Apex Racing TV clips as well to show you later on. Some absolutely fantastic content.
What do you think of this track? I've been ranting and raving about how much I love it. What do you think?
I'm apathetic. It is, I think, among F1 fans, massively overrated because there was about 2 good races here, and now people think it's the best circuit ever.
Yeah, for me,
F1 fans are idiots on the most part. Well, at least on social media, and so I tend to try to disagree with them.
Yeah, for me, I don't judge a track by a Formula 1 car at all.
No, it's not a good judge.
No, at all. Yeah.
You look at a track like Spa. Spa in F1 over the last 10 years has been awful. It's still a great track. No, it's not a good barometer. Veselek, the Polish driver, in 10th position. And he's currently on an outlap. The drivers, at least in the AMs, do get to start their lap before their 10 minutes is up, and then they complete that lap. So Veselek has got to be decently quick, but he will get one more lap in after this, and he has got a nice livery as well. I am a fan of that. Team Sajmat livery.
So what's the penalty going to be for the pros if they also go out during pro time as well?
I mean,
That would be double DQs, right?
well, they'd be getting 3 license points. If you get 6 license points, you get a quali ban. They'll be getting at least 3 license points for this. If they go back out, they'll get a time penalty for the race as well, and they'll be deducted points from their race 1 result. What that time penalty will be, I don't know. It depends how much of an advantage they gain.
Oi, oi, oi. Oh, I recognise that livery. It's an old school livery. The one behind. I assume that's Robert Van Horn following
He
Mads.
did say that a new livery was in the works.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, this is... Yeah, it's an old school livery.
I do appreciate these liveries which look different from different angles.
So I think that one is the old Samsoid blue one, because it's... The middle of it was the merger livery me and TK used to run. So the middle of it is all 3 of our colours, and then I think that's the old Samsoid blue livery. So he's obviously just reached out and said, look, I need a livery. What have we got? And he received it.
With 18 seconds to go, he gets across the line, so he does have 1 more attempt for this qualifying session. It's currently Tommy Struys on pole position, albeit is a pro driver. Many drivers will beat that. Christensen is top of the AM drivers, but is in the pits. Kirsten's on an out lap, but he hasn't got enough time to start a new lap, does Kirsten, so that will be the end of his qualifying. And so who else is improving? Forsland in 8th place. Swan, he's gone back to the pits. And Van Horn, so not really many AM drivers with a good chance at improving here. Don't expect the order to change too much, and Van Horn's not going to improve because, like many other drivers I'm sure tonight, hopefully not on lap 1 at least though, he overshoots the hairpin.
I think he'd be fine if it wasn't a pro in front of him blocking the view.
Well, you think that's
yeah,
another
I
5
think,
seconds?
yeah, another 5 seconds. Nicely taken call in there from Edwin. Really want to get that, hook that curb, get pulled round. This is a tricky corner, especially once your tyres get hot, because you want to get on the throttle early. But there's a little bump on the outside curb, and if you, I mean, 18 out of 20 times you catch it, you'd be fine. But yeah, it can sometimes over-rotate your car.
Here comes Forsland, personal best second sector.
good
This
looking
could
that.
be an improvement, but he needs to improve by a decent margin to get up a place, and he doesn't. He improves a bit, but yeah, not enough to move up. Welcome to Gordon Marshall, by the way. Says, hi guys, wish I was driving this season, but due to work commitments, it's not doable. If you have a great season, Gordon, of course, the AM champion from last season, really did well to achieve that. Would have definitely been a pro, and I think would have been up on the front few rows of the grid, honestly. And yeah, hopefully we see you back, Gordon, for future seasons. It was fantastic to see you out there. Hope you're enjoying your trophy. So this is now when the pros are meant to go out on track.
Correct. I wonder what some of them are going to do, especially the ones that have been out there. Are they going to sit there and think, as long as I stay in, then they...
I wonder if any of them are like, huh, these pro guys, I've been out there for 10 minutes. They don't know what they're doing. Should have been out here the whole time, guys. Teach you a lesson.
Yeah. Till they get the email or the DM, whatever comes first.
Banned from next race.
That's harsh. When was the last time you drove this car? Have you given it much of a use? I know you really fell out of love with this one.
I used to drive the 911 massively. It was when I reached my peak iRacing of 4.6k back in 2019, which nowadays is basically 9k because of iRacing inflation. So I was really quite a weapon in it. But yeah, never warmed to this thing because of the extra assists. I loved the 991, how you hit the brakes and you just slide. It was almost like a TKM kart, like a junior level kart, how you just lock the brakes into every corner, you're sliding constantly, traction control off as Veselec improves, and yeah, it was absolutely fantastic, but this thing doesn't quite have that same level of difficulty, I find.
No, for sure. Braking in this car versus how it used to be is 10 times easier. I mean, at Road Atlanta, you could almost brake to 100% in this car. I mean, you shouldn't because you overheat the tyres, but you wouldn't lock. As long as you peak, get there, and you start reducing as the downforce comes off. what downforce there is, but you know, when you're going down here and you get them compression over the front tyres, you could brake really, you could stomp on it.
First few pro times being set: Lazarus 5th place, Stromeri in 2nd place. Chalet currently on an outlap. Lan moves up to 5th place. Be great to see Lan do well. He's absolutely an old-timer in this series. I think he took part in both Season 1 and Season 2. Took then like a 6-season break, and then has been back for the last couple. Destras as well, playing in his first time for Scuderia Volpi. But that is just him starting a lap. Still got many others set times. Dimbolo, Fiedlek, Berg, Varbanov, Parker and Pedersen still to put a first effort in.
Yeah, still lots to play for. But obviously Casper's lap is really standing out there. AM driver, P3. Lots of people still... Yeah, there's still plenty of time. Let's say T1's so demoralising if you get it wrong. Underdoing it or overdoing it and getting the off track is... There's somewhere in between is that perfect lap. Just found out the whole run down to 2.
Lazarus moves now up into 4th position for Blackout OPR.
Yeah, still a ways off. Oh, as Matteo improves there. Very close to Tommy's lap. Granted, this is Tommy's 30th attempt now. It's I've had this issue before. When something's different to the officials that we've done thousands of, sometimes your brain just goes off.
And it'll be fine for round 2. And we always have a couple of these.
Yeah, for sure.
For round 1. And they'll learn the lesson.
Yep, 100%.
It's all good. It's all good. Destraz moves up to 3rd place. That's a good time from him. Goes back to the pits and immediately goes back out onto track. Very quick turnaround there, wasting no time. Wanting to complete as many laps as he possibly can. James Parker just going around the final couple of corners. He's a fair bit off the pace at the moment, is Parker, but I think this will get him a little bit closer.
Yep, let's see. So full on board. Ooh, hard to tell with the off track there. I assume if he's committed, he's on for it. Right, let's check his braking point. Does he go slow and low? Yeah, really late on the throttle. It's going to cost him the run all the way down. I say going deep and carrying or going... That was option 3. That was trying to slow, get rotated, but the problem is you're still carrying that too much entry speed that you're just late on the throttle. Right, let's see here. What do they use? A late first gear, I suppose? Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, see how committed on this inside curb he is. Nice. Tricky corner because you're still moving under braking here. Opens it up, gets on the power. Little chuck, but try and keep the diff locked. Looking good. Always scary if you hit that sausage curve too hard. I love this corner. Well, if you get it right.
It's satisfying because you can use so much of the extra space.
Yeah.
It feels like you're taking advantage of the track limits. iRacing lets you go all the way out to the gravel, nicely through Sachs corner. And then that one can catch your eye if you just hit the curb wrong, but no problems for Parker. And just 2 more corners to go. This is much better. I don't know why he was 6 seconds off the pace before. This is going to put him up in the top, like, 15, I would have thought. Top 7.
Yep.
It is a very close field at the moment. This is what we were hoping for. The iRatings are really close this season. And this is very much demonstrating it. Very, very close as it stands. But we've still got another 3.5 minutes. Lane improved on his most recent lap time. I think Fiedlek did as well. Stromeri got close. And Stromae currently on another lap, but it's not looking like a very quick one, it must be said. But he still does have time for another effort.
People overusing that sausage curve back there. It's definitely an off track the other side of it. Hello, Lone in chat. We've got Gordon cheering on Corey. What money back? I spent ages making ours. Oh, yeah, we're working on the liveries. Hey, John in chat. John in chat said, I have an old VW camper van and there is a VW show here at Hockenheim every year and I have blasts around here in a 1987 camper. Crockery everywhere. Lovely. That's what my wife wants. That's the car my wife wants.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Well, would you go on holiday?
No, she
Or
just wants it.
wants to go to Aldi in it?
Yeah, she just wants to own it. That's it. Do it up.
Should now have paints, thanks to our producers for fixing that one.
Paints versus liveries. Where do you stand? Because I've lived in America and England, obviously, for a very long time.
Liveries.
Liveries, okay, good.
Yep.
Same.
Paints is to sim race specific, whereas liveries is applicable to both.
Yeah. Is it America that don't know the term livery, I think? Most of them? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Americans don't use the term livery. This is Kevin Richard. I actually met this guy racing Porsche Cups probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. We were racing a lot against each other at, say, I think Interlagos. And we just got chatting after a week of battling each other. French, I think. Yeah, really nice guy.
Who was that, sorry? Kevin Richard?
Kevin Richard, yes.
Yep. Yeah, currently in 14th place. Dimbelow improves to 12th. We've got a couple more minutes to go. Stromae round the penultimate corner and then makes his burst to the line. Is this going to be enough for pole position? Some very good sectors so far.
Yes.
Lazarus goes to pole. Stromae goes past today. It's 9 thousandths of a second. He currently occupies that first position spot. Is there anyone else who can rival him? Struis are crossing the line at the moment. He's starting one more lap, but they have to complete their laps before the 22 minutes are up. So I don't think Tommy has got enough time, honestly. And it's only those who are near to the checkered flag who have got time for another effort. Victor Varbanov, perhaps. James Parker crosses the line, but no improvement for him. And I'm not seeing too much promise from everyone else, honestly. I don't think anyone's going to be getting close to Stromae.
Yeah, it's very, very tight at the top. 2 tenths separate the top 4. Then after that, 2 tenths separate all the way down to 11th.
I mean, you look even down to like 22nd, 1.2 seconds off the pace.
Yeah.
Quite a demanding circuit.
Got quite a compilation of flags.
Yes.
Like it's not just all Italians.
How many Italians are there? Have we got any Italians this season? Oh yeah, we've got Lane and Stromae.
Oh, there's one on top.
But yeah, not like GT3 Trophy. So there's qualifying, and that is a good sign for the rest of the season, because that was close. Stromae on pole, Lazarus second. Struis, asterisks by that, should be said. But he is in P3, but he may be getting a penalty afterwards. Lane lines up in 4th. Then it's Distras, Fiedlak. Christiansen is top of the AM drivers on debut. It's Parker, Chalet, Varbanov, Kirstens, Dimbelow, Richard, Berg, Bremer, Fernand, Pedersen in 17th place. Watch out for him to gain some place, I think he will do. Preston, Veselek, Horsland, Swan, Verm, Van Horn, Heritage, Horn, Loritzen, and Senna in 27th.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I assume we're doing a standing start, as per tradition.
Well, if I've set up the session right.
I love that look. He was like, oh my God, did I remember?
No, because last season, there was one round at Sebring, and it was a rolling start by accident. So, but it was fine. It works fine. It was an advantage for the pole sits though. I mean, if you're pole sitter and you see a rolling start, your quid's in.
So I've actually changed how I do standing starts in this car. I don't dual clutch anymore. I single clutch at the bite point, and I use a very realistic throttle button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, changed it. Minor gain, but a minor gain is a lot in this car.
Yeah, they need everything they can off the line. Overtaking should be possible around this circuit.
For
Certainly
sure.
on Sunday, we saw it was very possible. But still, if you can get into lead, might help you away from the potential mess at turn 6, because we've got a big field here, 27 cars on the grid for this race 1 of the evening, as just a couple more drivers get on the grid, and we are ready now for the start of Season 10 of Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup. And away we launch. Good start for the P2 man, and Lazarus is immediately going to be leading this race. He can even take the racing line into turn 1, heading into the T1 pinch point. Getting pretty close between 4th and 5th, but they left room for one another.
P2's
as
got
they
some
get into
overspeed here.
Single file, but it was a great run for Stromae coming out of turn 1. He's right on the tail and trying to go for the move. There goes Struise as well, making his way past one of them, potentially round the outside at turn 4, and they'll go into Parapolica, and he'll try to get ahead. We have got a
Sebastian.
spinner, and it is Christiansen, the leader of the AMS on the grid, who has had a failing right at the start.
Yeah, we lost 3 drivers, I think. Caspar, Robert Van Horn, and Sebastian.
Ooh, second and third locking up. Can everyone else get it stopped? There's one spin around, a little bit of a check-up. And we have a little bit of contact as well further back.
God, some people are late on the brakes on lap 1 with cold tyres. Oh, does he see him? This can be tight on the exit, but I think if he can stay on the right-hand side, he can easily hold him off here.
This is Destraz. Look at Struise with the run on the outside. Not going to quite get clear. And Destraz, who took advantage of the 2 drivers ahead of him locking up into the hairpin, has consolidated that P2 place.
We lost someone in the background there, Alexandra Chalet. Chalet?
Oh dear.
What? 3 wide? Okay, let's settle down.
Oh, you could tell that was going to be contact, but they got through it. Come on, you can't go single path, you can't go double path through here.
Victor finding, he's running out of room every time he turns. Oh, is he boxing for damage? Okay, so that's why he was slow off the corner. Yoicks, absolutely throws it through the corner. What's the off-track limit?
17.
Ah, okay.
So Lazarus with a comfortable gap.
We just lost Victor. Vanabon, I think, is in the pits. Actually, might be the guy we saw ducking in, actually. Sorry, a bit delayed there I am. Nice down the inside there
that's
from Tom.
contacts. That is Tom Heritage going round, and that's not a good rejoin. And the driver who lost out.
Well, the rejoin
Chalet.
wasn't too bad. He was getting off the double racing line. Like, he headed away from it. The guy, I don't know how he saw it. Maybe he just blew the corner. But there definitely shouldn't have been a car out there, like, in theory. But maybe I misread that. I think he was very surprised.
I think had he not moved, contact would have been avoided.
True. Yes. Okay. True. Yeah. But I thought I saw him trying to sort of. I know you should hold your brakes. I agree. But it looked like he was like, okay, I need to just get off the racing line here.
So Pedersen's now leader of the AM drivers.
Right, hopefully we can settle down now. Although we did just lose Preston, Horn, Edwin, Mads.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of names are dropping right now. Van Horn, who was last at the start of lap 1, is up to 7th, it's up 10 positions.
Let's ascend. I mean, it's alwast a carbon copy of lap 1, but this time it's gone worse.
That was synchronised swimming with 2 cars, wasn't it there?
Awful lap for Heritage. He's still trying to go, credit to him. But that car's taking a beating.
It has. Oh, attempting the switch back at 2. He's got the. If you can get alongside here and just brake nice and early and focus all on your off throttle, on throttle, then this is great. But the car around the outside does have the advantage of being able to carry, get in the draft, and hook it up for and pass. Because the draft is much stronger in these cars than, say, your average GT3. Let's see. Is this going to go 3 wide? Owen does have a run. He's taking a look. He's braking nice and early, though. He obviously just wants to get the exit. No, he's just following now. Maybe he had a quick look. We have a Kevin fan in chat, because I recognise that handle anyway. Oh.
Oh. Come on.
I also thought the Porsche on the outside wasn't going to go. The guy was like behind him for ages, was like, I'm just going to change lanes, mate. You got to go. We got to go. We got places to be. Got a table booked for 9, mate. Come on.
So Chalet down 11 places, has had a problematic start.
Nice livery, though.
Is a good livery.
So Luke Swan, my bet for the AM is up 9. I told you, maturing.
Yeah.
Where's your AM pick?
My pick's up 9 as well. They're right with each other.
See, we know how
with
to do
each
it.
other tonight. Unfortunately, Dimbolo is not doing well for me.
Corey, you know what can I say?
Yeah,
What can I say?
Yeah.
What can I say?
iRacing. That.
Just give me F1 fantasy all over again. I'm winning that, by the way. The league where I'm in, I'm just leading. I don't know why everyone just picked Max, Red Bull.
Everyone did.
Oh, they're doing it. They're doing it wrong.
Well, 49% of people picked Max.
I spent all my money on Red Bull and Max, and the rest was just like, okay, who can I afford?
Yeah.
Logan, Magnussen. All right, we've got some replays. Let's have a look. So, race start.
Great start for Lazarus. Immediately got past. Wasn't actually a good run for Lazarus through turn 1, but it was enough for him to keep the lead and allow everyone else to mess up behind him later on in the lap.
Yeah.
And Strees really tried to do something here. And he did the right thing to be fair. Strees just tucked underneath and got a good run onto the parabolica.
Yeah, he did really well.
Very common mistake. We saw this a lot.
It's just cold tyres. Really cold tyres.
Oh, no. That was Veselek. That's how Chalet lost out.
These guys that are braking late.
I mean, Chalet's been unlucky.
He has.
Oh,
Yoinks!
no. They tried to get past.
Oh, his car's still going, is it? Oh, careful. Oh, okay.
This one was risky from Heritage. Fortunately, the driver on the outside backed out of it, and then the driver here moved across.
Oh.
And...
yeah, I don't know. He looks like the guy just broke early. It was his apex, and yeah, 2 became 1. These guys not only are braking late on cold tyres, but I noticed a trend of everyone who locked, they're moving. They're doing like a from right to left move line, trying to late brake, trying to get to... You've got to brake. If you're one of those guys that really wants to brake late on cold tyres in this car, you have to be going dead straight. Okay. Estrus got a run here. Maybe they're looking through wide. Hard to get anything done on the outside here as long as the guy knows how to park it. And yeah, not a lot you can do. Can be tough to pass, but you just got to set it up, feel their mirrors.
New leader, by the way, in the AMS, Kirstens, is now leading the way. Trying to remember who it was before. Of course, Christiansen started on pole out of the AM drivers. We have had a fair amount of...
it was Casper Kern, wasn't it? Yeah, Kern, I think, was leading the AMS.
Yeah, but then someone else led for a bit. I think it may have been Pedersen who led for a bit. But now it is Kirstens. And of course, top 10 get inverted for race 2. So currently, Pedersen would be on pole. Kirstens would be on the front row.
So the only driver we have lost is, yeah, Alexandre Chalet, who's had a frightful start to his first race, round 1, unfortunately. I think he was caught in everything. Every replay he was in, unfortunately. But Lazarus looking comfortable. 2.4 second lead. Got more Kevin fans in chat. I figured as much. He used to drive this car so much more than he does nowadays. He transitioned to a lot of prototypes like the LMP3 and stuff. I'd say this was his strongest car. This was his peak. Very strong driver. Okay, yeah, so Corey leading by 2.4 seconds. And then behind Jan is a gaggle of 5 cars in total.
Oh,
we-
Just has messed up.
Commentator's curse as I mentioned him.
That I'm 90% sure that was by himself, because there was about a half-second gap to the car behind. The gap seemed to increase. I thought there may have been a mistake from Struis, but I think it was Distraz going too deep himself, and that's why the gap increased and then it very quickly decreased.
As I mentioned his name.
So better news now for North Sim Racing, and they could get second and third here if they can clear Struis, who I don't think is going to catch up to Lazarus. 2.7 seconds ahead, and Lazarus seemingly every lap has just got a little bit extra on these jerseys, been averaging about 0.2 of a second a lap faster, as Lani with an alternative line there. Not sure if it was necessarily gaining him any time.
Yeah, I'm going to sell out now. My pick's looking good. North, Corey leading, and
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real. I don't want to call you out here, David, but you did just go for the guy with the highest iRacing. There's no
Wait.
fun in that. I went for a guy whose iRacing is half.
right, Luke's
The
one
other
then.
amps.
Luke's one there. Didn't go for iRacing.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Do you think you raced him at Imola in the Porsche Cup?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly. Yeah, no, to be honest, I don't recognise most of the names, though. Obviously, Kevin. Recognise the name Luke. Obviously, Robert Van Horn. I think Ryan Preston, I recognise the name. Nick Horn. Mads Lauritsen. Oh, I didn't even know he was in the race. And Stefano Senna, probably one of the Italians from the previous league. I don't know.
Try to remember with Senna. He has taken part in Racing Unleashed. Know that. Not sure about other ones. Here's the battle for the lead in the AMS. Pedersen versus Kirstens. And that is Pedersen getting past Kirstens. He's now up into P9. He was a lot faster on that last lap as well, despite the damage you can see on the back of his car. So I do think he might start pulling away now, like the PGA Australia driver. It is odd because he qualified down in 17th place, but his race pace has been really good, Pedersen. He is one of the highest I-rated amateur as well. I think he's 3.873k, right on the cusp of becoming a pro.
Was it 4K cut-off?
I think it was 3.8. I think
okay.
maybe since the ratings were done, I think he's maybe gained a little bit of I-rating.
Gotcha. Oi. Just leaning on the pole a bit much there. You can use the curb to turn or the steering wheel. If you use both, well, that happens.
Stromeri has got past Lan, but they are teammates, remember, so that could have been choreographed.
Yeah, so I think it's his turn to fight Tommy now. Yeah, I don't think they're going to try anything stupid. But what?
Gap to Lazarus has come down a lot. They
Yeah,
gained
1.7
on that last lap. Was definitely a mistake from Lazarus. Just giving them a small hope here. Got a lot of time to catch up still.
Yeah, he was 8 tenths slower. 9 tenths slower than P4. Let's see how this battle for P2 unfolds. He's looking good, is Tommy, though. It's all that practice and qualifying. No, I'm kid. No more jokes. I kid. I kid. I would have done the same thing.
Try to remember the quality format we had in GC3 Trophy that season. Do you remember?
No, I remember not gridding for the second race.
That's what everyone remembers, yeah.
Yeah. That's the worst.
So yeah, Lazarus 1.7 seconds. His time this time around, you'll see it pop up on the timing tower. But it's going to be a 40.8 and then Struis a 40.6, so about 0.13 faster on that last lap. If he keeps gaining by like that, he'll be within a second by the end of the race. But he needs really quarters of a second a lap. They are coming into a little bit of traffic. Mads Lauritsen is the driver they are approaching.
Yes, indeed. Tommy's coming under a little bit of fire here. 3 and a bit tenths. This is going to be quite the run. Not saying he'll get it done now, but he'd be certainly close enough to give it a fight on the last sector of the lap. And he is looking like the quicker driver is Matteo. Yep, he's just letting him know he's there in his mirror, see if he can get him to lock or mess up his braking point, which he didn't. Tommy looking strong. Matteo is well in the draft now. His teammate is not holding on that well. He's out of draft and in the arms of James. So I assume this is why they swapped.
Yeah, well, I think Lane's made a mistake. I mean, he's faster than a 41.3, but he's not driving to the maximum of his abilities at the moment. Heritage is into the pits. His car already had issues, and maybe he's picked up some more issues. Oh no, he's back out on track. Okay, just needed a quick repair. He's alright. They do have a fast repair, by the way, do these drivers. If
they have a quick repair and a fast repair.
It's going to be a long season.
It's going to be a very long season.
Point out everything wrong that I say.
Okay.
Strawberry's going to have a good chance there.
Yeah.
2/10 of a second back going into turn 1. You can just line this one up. I mean, they want to catch up to Lazarus, but I mean, Strawberry's just got to be committed to it. Go for it.
No, I mean, yeah, Matteo has the pace for the lead right now. Oh no! Oh, he does get that stopped. Yeah.
He's got a nice line as well going onto the Parabolica. He's 3/10 back. Oh no! Yeah, slides. Well, that's
cooked.
Not going to happen this lap.
Oh, and a lapper. As long as he gets past the lapper, then otherwise he's in trouble. Oof. The lapper breaks with him. Oh, yeah, I love those lappers. They're always my favourite.
Hopefully Lane gets the clean lead. Bremer gets past Verm. Bremer up 2 places. Verm actually up 8. But Bremer is the faster driver at the moment. He was involved in instance in the early stages. Oh, he has made up that place. Also, Swan has got past Kirstens.
No, I think Kirstens is dropping.
Yeah, we're going to come across a
and Thomas won.
Kirstens. There he is. That is quite late in the corner. That looks like he's made contact with someone.
Yeah, he dropped.
He'll stay just ahead of Veselak, but that isn't significant. So Swan on reverse grid pole. Got a bit of a gap back as well to Christensen. So really very good for him now.
Matty in chat. No, he's P5. Robert Van Horn is P5 in amateur class because Nick has just dropped. Yep, so pros on the stand-ins are denoted with the colour green. Oh, this is close following. Way too close following. And Victor losing out there. And the AMs are denoted with white. Coloured. I'm going to say coloured.
Designated.
Designated. No, I prefer denoted.
Designated doesn't make sense. I was trying to be smart there. But Kirstens has come into the pit, so clearly that spin that he had caused a bit of damage. Here we go. He's closer this time, Mr. Murray. This is a very good run. He's going to be at least alongside, but is he going to be given the inside? No, he's not.
He didn't even want to take it either. What's he going to try? Oh, nothing. At the moment, he's just trying for a good exit.
And that is
good exit indeed.
He's going to get.
Yes, and his teammates on it as well. I assume this has been a slow battle. Yeah, the leader's pulled a couple of tenths on them.
He's going to hesitate here. Still looking for the inside going into the Mercedes arena, but he's not overly aggressive, Jermaine. I think he probably realises that he's not going to be able to pass Streis and catch up to Lazarus in time. So just take his time and make sure he gets the P2. He's got a few more attempts at it before he gets to the end of the race. But yeah, it did seem like he could have gone for the inside there at the hairpin.
I think so, yeah.
It's such a wide part of the circuit. It's almost impossible to defend it all the way.
I agree, yep. The leader always ends up going back to his line at some point, and you just stay out there all the way to the grass. Let's see. Surely he just takes the off track and gets him into 2. I mean, I hope he's not listening, but that's what I would do. I would absolutely yeet bomb through this inside, throttling almost now, and have the overdrive for T2.
Are you visiting this circuit in Pesk? Oh, sorry, no, of course we've already visited this circuit in Pesk, haven't we?
Yes, we did. LMDH here.
How did you like it?
Loved it, yeah. I didn't have the best luck, unfortunately, but yeah, I was fastest, if not second fastest in practice. Quali went well, and then just strong first race finish, and just bad luck, man. Started nigh on at the back because of my good result, and then I got through 9-10 people, and then compilation of bad luck and apologies, but that was it. It has been the way this season. Well, last round went well, so I'm hoping I need one more strong round at Red Bull Ring tomorrow, and I'm back in this.
Gap to the lead has come down. Oh, that's why, because he outbroke himself, did Struis, and that is second place yielded to Strumeri.
Cooked tyres as well now, this late in the race. It's not going to be easy for him to defend.
So Lan, who seems to have got into a better rhythm, there was a couple of laps where he lost the position to Strumeri and then dropped back, where he seemed to be struggling, but he's putting some better times now. That's a very half-committed move into Sachs corner.
Yeah.
And they have still got a couple more cars as well. Well, one more car up the road. It's Stefano Senna, who they've got to pass, who's the back marker. And Senna doing a good job there, letting them go.
Let's see if Mateo can hunt down Corey. I actually think he's got the pace. That's it, they're taking the off track, it's on. It's a target, not a limit.
Oh, Lani with another half-committed move, but he's still hit the apex well. Gonna have a fantastic chance, really good chance. Both of the North Sim Racing guys really good through turn 2, 3 and 4.
He needs to tell his teammate to move at the exact same time. Be like, no, just keep going right. Like we say, it would have worked. This won't work.
He's not even going to go for the cut. Well, yeah, it was halfway between a cutback and an outside move. Gap to the lead, now down to 9/10 of a second. Strumeri's rapidly closing. We've got 2 more laps to go after this.
Yeah, as I say, I think you can catch him. He's looked the fastest on pace for a while. Let's see. I'm still interested in this. But yeah, the lead battle can definitely change. I do think we're going to see Lani pass Tommy sooner rather than later.
Still top of the AM drivers, Pedersen. He's been caught by Swan. But they're not teammates actually, are Pedersen and Swan. They are from the same great nation of Australia, but they are not teammates. So they will be fighting against each other for that P9, albeit maybe P10's a better place to finish because you get reverse grid pole.
True. That's why I've got my boy Swan in 10th, up 11 positions, you know.
Oh,
strategic.
yeah, you knew this is going to happen.
Yeah, correct, yeah. Going to win fancy Porsche Cup as well. Right, let's see. No half sends, set it all up on a little deeper than maybe he would have liked.
And I mean, your policy here, just go as far right as you need to go.
Yeah, none of that edging over. Go over there, flash your lights, wave out the window, make loud noises on the radio. You wouldn't block the person like that, would you?
No, yeah, he's not done it again. They're not listening to you, David. And it's... Oh, no, that's a better cutback.
Very nice cutback.
If you're going to do the cutback, that's how you're going to do it. However...
It's not guaranteed, though, because it's a left turn, isn't it?
Yeah, the outside line turns into the inside for the Mercedes Arena.
Right.
And...
We might lock up, though.
Stays ahead. Oh, look at the send. Very creative move there from Lane, but it was never really going to work. He was far too... He just backed out off the right-handed too much. It left him with too much to do under braking, and he wasn't going to get past. There's Yestraz, formerly P2 in this race, remember? Knocked up, went down to P6. He's trying to recover a top 5 though.
Yeah, it looks like he's hunting James Parker. We have a British person. Is that the right term? British? Yes.
A Brit?
A Brit. I don't know. I've been gone 11 years. I don't know what to call
You don't know who you are.
People from United Kingdom. Well, there aren't many countries where I was born in England. I have a British passport, but I'm from the United Kingdom. I mean, why?
Well, it's the same with the US, isn't it? Because, you know, a Brazilian is an American. Because you're in
Yeah, why do
the
I have
Americas.
3 countries? To me, I'm born in England. I have a British passport, and I'm from the United Kingdom on the web. So I don't know.
Not good branding from the UK.
No, we need a redo.
Yeah.
England. Oh, and then you throw Europe in there as well. I suppose that's more like the concept.
You're really sounding like an American now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Lazarus with half a lap to go. He survived T6. Stromae has been closing.
Yeah, just not enough.
Looks like he's going to come up short. And it was just that lock-up that him and Struis had on lap 1 down at the hairpin, which might turn out to be the difference. You'll have an opportunity to get some revenge in race 2. But as everyone knows, Hockenheim, this is the part of the circuit where usually the action does not come. Stromae is still trying. He's track extending. He's taking all those spare 1Xs that he has got stored up.
Whoa.
But after a super close qualifying, which Stromae was able to edge out, it doesn't look like it's going to get him the win, because Lazarus has just got 4 more corners to survive. And I believe this would be his first ever Apex Racing League victory overall, and a fantastic start for the highest iRated driver in the field. The Blackout OPR driver, pretty much leading from start to finish, and he takes the first race of the season. Stromae second, Struis holds on to third.
Yeah.
It will be Pedersen who will finish top of the AM drivers ahead of Swan. They will both be delighted with that, to be on the front row of the grid for race 2. And it's Christensen, who was on pole for the AMs, who narrowly misses out in 11th.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, really good. Lazarus with the win and Swan starting pole. This is it. Like, this is what we want. I mean, I want. No, really strong finish. Robert Van Horn recovered from practically last on lap 1. I think he was the first to fall. We lost 3 people on the first lap there.
So we've now got a 3-minute warm-up period, so a bit of time for us to have a quick break. I will quickly say, if you want to join the action, you can do so. Go over to apexracingleague.com and you can sign up to the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup. You can also sign up to the Apex Racing Formula 4 Championship. I think there's 4 more rounds in that, so a lower entry fee to join that series.
Did you say Formula 4 or Ford?
4.
4, okay, yeah. Because they're similar words, right?
Remarkably.
Remarkable.
And yeah, you can go to apexracingleague.com and sign up for that. And of course, check out the Apex Racing League Discord. There is a link to that in the description. Click on that, and then whenever a new series launches, you're the first to know, and you can check out how to sign up on there. But yeah, good win there for Lazarus, very in control. Do you think he could have gone faster, like if he was pushing 100%, or do you think he was, keeping it calm out there?
It just looked like he's fast but heavy on his tyres. That's how it looked to me.
Okay.
Because it looked like, even though who was P2? Stromae was having the battles, it just looked like his tyres were much better, Nick. Like 2/10 a lap, 2.5. Some guys are just fast in this car, but put all that heat through them to get the speed. It just looked like he was just that. I don't think that's all Corey had, and he was going to be hunted had the race been another 3 laps longer.
So there's the results, 0.4 of a second, the gap. Struis in third. And of course, Pedersen, really good result from him in 9th. A bad qualifying there for Pedersen, but I think I did say in the grid, expect him to gain places. And he did. He beats one to the AM win. Christensen will be frustrated. But is there an element of Christensen who's probably thinking, oh, I'm glad I haven't got a bunch of pro drivers behind me? Or do you always want to be on pole position?
No, I mean, if you're of all the cars to be pro, like I'm not. If I was an AM driver, I wouldn't want to be pole heading into Hockenheim on a standing start with T1 and coming up.
But I'd rather be P. I think P1 is the one safe position.
Not if you're
not going to be missile.
Not if you're a mirror watcher. You'll be the guy. That's the problem. If you're 2,000-3,000 die rating lower than a bunch of people behind you, you spend the first corner looking in your mirrors, not at the corner. How I feel.
Yeah, it is true. Some drivers, we've seen it before, where we've had big reverse grids, and some drivers just gone, nah, I'll start from the pits.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. I'd rather be safe like that than do anything else. Of course, so we have got the late Apex later on. Make sure to tune into that. That is from 10 GMT. Some news on SimuCube and iRacing. how there might be an advantage now on iRacing if you go for SimuQ potentially. And also news when it comes to Forza and
Rain.
ACC and Rain. And lots of other things. New rigs becoming available. Merch becoming available as well from one of the simulators. So do check out the late Apex. It's on straight after this. But yeah, we have got just a few more minutes of warm-up remaining.
Warm up. I always feel like it should be called warm down. I've never felt... Yeah, iRacing always calls it warm up. I'm warm, fine. I'm fine, thank you.
Do you drive during warm-up?
I don't.
No.
I don't drive during the practice or the warm up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think it's incredible. I am so detached from a lot of drivers. How some drivers love to drive, and I've just had enough. I can do the race, and then after the race, I'm like, nah. And so, if I've got a 25-minute race and a 30-minute race, the last thing I want to be doing in between them is racing.
I suppose
I want to have a break, have a
because
drink.
I'm always streaming. I do a lot of drive talking. Like I'll be out there, but I'm not there. I'm just talking. Yeah. I'm mindlessly going around until race start or something like that. But I agree. I wouldn't, if I wasn't streaming, I wouldn't be out there. I'd just wait for the quali or the race and that's it. Then I'm off.
Yeah. Well, we are now ticking over to the grid for this race 2. And it's the top 10 inverted. Swan on pole, Pedersen. Watch out for Dimbolo, actually. I was a bit disappointed by Dimbolo in that race 1 because I went for him to win the championship, and he was far from winning that race 1, but maybe he's got a chance in this race 2. There's Richard, there's Stras, Parker, Lane, Struis, Strameri, and of course race 1 winner Corey Lazarus, and the rest of the field will cycle through. It's just the finishing order of the race 1, but a bit of a longer race, 30 minutes, and I hope that everyone has put enough fuel in the car.
Yeah, who would scramble at the last second trying to change the fuel amount and then grid him back up and the session starts without him?
Yeah. No one's going to do that.
No, I want to do that.
Bit concerned that Bernand isn't going to get on the grid. Come on, Anthony.
It's already too late.
No,
I think if the lights have started, it's too late.
Here we go then. Race 2 of the evening. And away we launch. It's a decent start for our front row, but Pedersen has got the better start, and he has got the inside line for turn 1.
3 wide
and he is ahead.
Yikes,
3 wide. Wide goes, I think that was Richard having to take some evasive action, but they all survive. It's just at the back, Veselek and Senna colliding, and a big hit into the wall, I think, for Preston as well. Pedersen, though, once again, P2 on the grid, getting the better start, and he's making a break for it. In the background, that's Corey Lazarus off the circuit, and it looks very unlikely that we're going to have a double race victory tonight for the Australian.
Yeah, I see Robert Van Horn off in the background, unfortunately. He's had a terrible both race starts. See how clean we can get. Seeing some 2 wides, cold tyres. How does everyone cope? Oh, I saw a lock up just as the camera started to pan. Yeah, I think the blue car went deep and it's gone a little bit long, but it looks like no fatalities. Yikes.
Dimbolo holding on against Richard. It was actually Destras who went way off the track at turn 1, but it hasn't deterred him. He's up a place. He's up to 4th.
Yep. Tom Heritage and Mads Liritzen is dropping a few positions back there.
Oh, nearly.
Matteo's going to see a send. Yeah, he's got that done. The green card's going to come under fire here as well because he was seen to be lifting. I always think if he's seen to be lifting to let him by, then you best leave a door open at the next corner because, yeah, it's just a sign of weakness and you're going to be sent. Maybe that's just how I see it.
Struis up 3 places so far, one of our highest gainers. Also Berg and Kirsten's gain places. Chalet from 27th on the grid up to 18th already, taking advantage of those couple of spins that some drivers had. Pedersen now 1.8 seconds clear of the rest of the field. A mighty start for the man who starts in second place. We have got a spinner. That's Vidalak.
Yes,
Who is round and will have to take his time to rejoin.
Let's see a bit of a draft train forming here. As Joseph Dimbolov and Luke Swan are side by side on my telemetry just then, or maybe just I misread it.
Dimbolo's got a... Oh, he's not close enough to get past Swan. That's really his only way of protecting himself from the drivers behind, is by going for a move. Ooh. And there was a late move there. I think that was Struis. Oh, Swan's gone wide as well. Dimbolo almost got underneath him, and he is now underneath him. but a slightly better exit for Swan. And all this batsing is fantastic news for Pedersen. We could seriously have an ARA driver win this race 2 of the evening.
Is he going to get that start?
Oh, Swan's gone off. There he is. And he's collided with Richard.
And my money was on a collision with Dimbalev, or whoever you said. I think those two. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I think Ricard just got caught up in the aftermath.
Ricard was a couple of places further back, wasn't he?
But yeah, Joseph was looking feisty, let's say. But let's see. I am just guessing here. Yeah, I think more Ricard was met with a sideways Porsche. Oh, yeah, it's not going to work. That can't work. No, and it didn't work.
Well, I think that's karma. Lazarus maybe a bit flustered after his spin on lap 1.
Yeah, I mean, that was never on, wasn't his corner. That doesn't work. It's a closing corner.
I mean, it can work, but it was never going to work there because it was too far back.
Yeah. No way. It was a bit of a surprise. It was his car that spun. He's really keeping that tight. Is that going to work? I don't think so. I don't think that idea works. Let's see.
Netcode helping these Dutch drivers out. Not got far for the ping to travel to Stuttgart, but there's
these guys like to be close to each other. Why isn't there? Why? I don't understand how. Is it Dan in the middle? How he hasn't just stayed right and taken the apex first?
Chalet easily getting past the two of them.
Yeah.
Stationary on the outside there. I think that was Bremer. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it wasn't the best call there.
Or was it Swan? I think that was Swan with another incident. He was the car stationary on the outside.
Oh.
Custer's trying to get the cutback now on Chalet, but this has worked great for Chalet. He's up 18 places now in 4.5 minutes.
Wow. All right, some replays for you. Okay, race start.
Again, just a great launch for P2.
Yep. Yeah, that 3 wide in the second row did not help, was it Ricard there at all? Oof.
I think one of the drivers who lost it in the background was just by himself. Then it got a bit messy. That may have been Lane who was forced on the outside.
Yo.
And then so Lazarus collided with Strameri. And apparently this was netcode, and it's understandable because, yeah.
Oh, it was netcode. What on earth was that?
Got a lot to travel.
Oh, okay. Wow, he hit a car and the car just carried on. That was the best netcode I've seen. Okay, so this is what we missed with Swan. Let's see.
No, it's a tiny tap with
Was there even a tap, or did Swan just lose that on the way in? I couldn't tell.
No, I think that was a tap.
Yeah, this was never on. That wasn't on. It's fine. It ended with the correct person off the track. Yeah, I don't know about the Swan incident there. That was really hard to judge. I don't even know if there was any contact. He looked like he intimidated him, and Luke just carried too much into the apex and was sideways. I mean, even if there was a tap, that's just racing. So yeah, I think that's fine. Yoinks! That's a slowdown. If he ever comes back, we need a chopper.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, but surely it's a slowdown that far out. Let's see. Is he slowing?
That was Lane getting past all of them. Awful. Something happened to Lane. I'm not sure what happened to Lane, but he's down to 10th place.
Here we got Victor up 10, Alexander Chalet up 18. Oh, Kevin Chard's down 20, down in 24th, unfortunately. He's having a horrid second race. All this is good for Ben. All you got to do is hit his marks now. 2.8 second lead.
Longer race though.
Very true.
That extra 5 minutes might be decisive because Dimbler was half a second faster that last time round. Struce matching him. Destras matching him.
Delatraz.
Teammate, there's a lot of Delatrazes.
Correct.
F2 Delatraz. Yeah, Delatraz last season in GC3 Trophy. I drove against Delatraz. Like the real Delatraz.
Do you think he'd remember you though?
No. I think it was a Formula V race at Brands Hatch Indy. And he joined, and I think he crashed on lap 1 and he quit.
Oh, Denberg's having a bit of a struggle out there. Future Racing Team Pro. Future Racing Team Pro. There is no flow to that. That is 4 words.
Big calls here from David Sampson. This is his opinion show.
That doesn't ring right to me. Racing's a nice end to a team name, yes. Pro, I don't know if that belongs in a team name. And what was the other word? Team. Was the word team embedded in that? Future Racing Team Pro. No, I don't like that name.
I'm curious as to, so Iridium, do you know what Iridium is?
Isn't it some metal?
Yeah, it's like it's actually an element.
Yeah.
You know, big thing. One of the OGs of the universe. And yeah, that is what one of the teams is named after. Yeah. I think that's a decent team name.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. But Future Racing Team Pro, where do you stand on them words?
No, I'm not a fan.
No. I'll send them some recommendations for some renames.
I think as this is going to be fairly close down into the hairpin, having to defend now is Streese, who's actually lost a bit of touch to Dimbalay. There goes to Straz. He's going to get past Strommeri here. This is not what we... Apologies, this is Strommeri getting past Straz, apologies. And yeah, he's up into P4 now, just ahead of them. Streese still having to defending against Strommeri. This is just allowing... Apologies, that was Dimbalay that time defending against Streese. Very apologies. And this just allowed Pedersen to pull away. I mean, Pedersen was really comfortable against these guys. Then they were catching, and now he started pulling away again. It's up to 2.7 seconds, the gap.
Indeed. He's obviously... Dimbalov had a hell of a battle in his hands to get to the position he's in. Tommy's looking good in P3 there. Some serious points after round 1. Iridium. Yeah, it's a nice word.
Yeah, the point I was going to make, I think you compare sim racing team names to like band names, and they're not as good. I think there's too much professionality in sim racing, and no one's willing to go for something wacky.
I agree.
Team name.
I agree. Oh, Robert Van Horn is providing the Samsoid lawn care service out there for a moment. He's back now.
Going to be another attempt here for Streese to get past Dimbalay. He was holding them all back. Streese could go for the inside here, but he just waits behind. They are about maintaining the gap now to Pedersen. If they weren't fighting, they'd be catching Pedersen.
Yeah.
But this is just maintaining the gap at the moment. And it really depends how long this battle goes on for. Here comes the move again. He's going to have to leave space here, Dimbalay.
Oh, he hit the curb,
goes
yeah.
Streese.
He got it done.
And this outside line works well. And he is through into P2. And now he's got a proper shot at catching the leader.
Unfortunately, we lost Tom that lap where he dropped to last on track. And Iwan Brewer dropped a couple of positions, I noticed in the background there. So maybe just a little mistake. This is definitely the biggest gaggle on track.
Oh, I was about to say, there is a big gaggle involving Bremer. That sort of 15th down to...
Oh, yeah, from Nick Horn.
19th.
Nick Horn backwards.
It's broken up a bit now because Mads Lutzen has made a mistake. But, yeah, still everyone fairly close. We haven't had a whole lot of field spread so far in this race, too. It hasn't been quite as chaotic as the start of race 1. So, got 18 more minutes of this to go. Not going to be any rain, unfortunately, if you're just tuning in.
Oh, really? I'm off. Bye-bye. Oh, lovely from James. But this technique doesn't always work if the guy on the outside's smart. Let's see.
You're calling Christensen not smart there because he's lost that position?
No. It may be wise if you can lose that position to 2 in a smart way that gets you it back nice and easy on the run. But I am noticing the draft not be as prevalent here as it I almost want to say as it should be. Maybe it's just not.
Yeah, overtaking hasn't quite been as easy as maybe
No.
I thought.
No, same.
Do you think... Oh, here comes a move. Maybe not.
Yikes.
Oh, that's a swap.
Yikes.
Oh, no. I mean, the manoeuvre was good, but he was just too early on the brakes there, Stromeri.
Yeah.
If he broke 5 meters later, he would have probably made it. He may have run into the back.
Or got a
didn't he?
penalty, yeah.
Like, it would have been one or the other.
Yeah.
Instead, he was
What
just
was
a
your
bit too
question you was
cautious.
going to ask about the draft?
Oh, it wasn't about the draft. Do
Oh.
you think that corner design of the long back straight into the tight hairpin, do you think that's good do you think that's good track design, or do you think that's like too obvious, like it's a cliche?
Well, no, I like it because we see everyone only trying a half-assed switchback, but we never see anyone take it, like hustle them to the inside, hustle them to the inside, hustle them. If they want the inside, they can have just the inside. And then just before the braking zone, you go all the way to the left, break it long, break it deep, focus on your throttle off, then try and carry and get the run into the next pair of corners. But we're not really seeing anyone do that. They usually just follow, and then either half-ass going to the left of them, but not really doing much about it. But no, I don't mind. I like this corner.
Yeah, Stromeri loves the dummy.
See, watch, he's going
just
right.
doing dummies every time.
And like I described, as long as you... Oh, no, he just overbroke. Is he going to get it half-assed? But yeah, he gets it done. That's what I mean about keep going right. Just ignore the...
But he went smart there, did Stromeri, because he gestured to the left.
Yeah.
And then he went for the dummy. Now, he'd already done that the lap before, so I'm not sure if necessarily Dimbolo fell for it, because he sort of knew that it was going to come. I mean, I knew that it was going to come from a mile away. But yeah, he took all that inside, because the outside line at the hairpin really isn't good. Like, sure, you can get the cut back sometimes, but...
I don't know. Remember Rennsport in that corner, 3 wides all the way through the frigging corner apex, and then coming off with Yob, Kev, and who was it? Doesn't matter, but all 3 wide into that corner and carrying it all through the apex. It was unbelievable to watch. Love or hate it, it was. I enjoyed watching Hockenheim Rennsport. Yeah, it's really good.
So it's now 2.3 seconds Struess has got to catch. He's got a bit of a buffer to Stromeri. I think really any one of these top 3 could win. Let us know who you think's going to win in chat. I would give, if I was running bookies, if I took over Ladbrokes, I'd probably be giving maybe 3-1 odds on each of these guys. Honestly, I think it's really, really even between each of them. They will probably be on top of one another in about 10 minutes' time.
Yeah, agreed. It's come down to... All right, some more replays.
Ouch.
Oh. That's a strange lock, yeah.
He's realised he's not... Oh. And then this is Stromeri. Gets him past...
Yeah, nice commitment.
Distress.
What happens to Robert here? Oh, Robert just... Oh.
Oh, it could have been worse.
Yeah. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a little nudge from behind. Oh, yeah, this was a good battle with Luke's, with Swan and...
That was Struess on Dimbolo. And then that was the dummy. I love doing dummies. I feel smart when I do one. And I pretty much do it on every single move I can do.
We just lost Robert Van Horn and Edwin Forsland. Dropped 3 or 4 positions just then as we was looking at the replays.
Stabey NZ saying thanks for the Iridium compliment. No problem. I'm not sure about Iridium as a element. It may be one of the worst elements. I'm not sure, but I think it's a good team name. I would give it a 7 out of 10 team name personally.
7 out of 10 team name. I like it. It's a good name. Seems strong.
That's the adjective I'd use. Strong.
Yep.
Dimbolo might come back against Stromeri here. He hasn't been able to drop him as Stromae. I really thought that Stromae would be charging after the top 2, but hasn't been the case so far.
Holding on nicely. It's a big old gaggle, as Matt Malone would say. I think Matt Malone canned that phrase that we all use in iRacing, gaggle. I think he's the...
Really? You think he's
pioneer.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, so do you pay him £5 every time you use the...
No, he pays me for marketing.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
that's how it works in 2024.
Lazarus, by the way, up to 13th place now. He's on the comeback. Remember, won race 1. And just try and get as many points back as he can in race 2. That is sort of a curse of race 1. I mean, I don't want to say it's too much of a curse because it's a good thing. But if you win race 1, the race is going to count. If you do badly in race 1 and you're doing badly in race 2, you think, well, it's my drop score. But if you do well in race 1, you know that that race 2 is going to count. And so you actually have to try. And you need to recover as many points as you can.
Yeah, obviously this Pescal Stars thing for me is the very first proper situation of having to deal with this, and I'm, for one, like, I will quali and race as hard as I can. I will never think about gaming the second race, but to be honest, because it's a reverse entire grid, I should have just stayed in bed and not qualied and done race 2 from, done quali from last, and then race 1 I fight through. And then race 2, I get that. Just stay in bed. Just stay in bed for quali and race 1.
Whole time, why not?
Start pole. Yeah, I think I honestly think I'd scored more points had I just started pole every race, every second race.
Dimbalow's back into 3rd, and there's going to be the send from Destraz. Dimbalow runs wide, and Varbanov might be able to get past as well. He was in the right position there, Dimbalow, to go for the move, but he just broke 5 meters too late, and that caused him to almost miss the corner completely.
Can you hang on there, JRS car? No.
So Destraz up into 4th place, but honestly, I thought Stromae had I was giving 3-1 odds to win the race, but anyone who put money on that would be wrong. Because he's 3.6 seconds behind with 10 minutes to go. He's not going to catch up to that gap unless something happens between the top 2, who are now 1.2 seconds between.
Good looking livery. I'm not even sure I've seen this team before, the PGA. Don't recognise the name.
What's the golf thing called? Yeah,
PGA Tour.
Okay.
But this looks very modelled after like the jaw. Who's that the team IRL that has like that the jaw mouth at the front? It's a Porsche.
The Porsche. Yeah, I don't know what team it is.
Yeah, so it looks a little bit like that because that team's also green.
Looks like a crocodile. Maybe that's because it's green. But that's what it makes me think of. Or a lizard.
Robert's in chat. I'm not sure what he means. Lovely driving, turning in while you're
that was the last
side.
corner incident he had, remember, where he had a driver on his outside. Robert went wide and like clipped, and he went wide off the track.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough to see. Just looked like he wasn't clear to push out.
Christensen, by the way, top of the AM drivers. We haven't... Oh, Jesus Christ. Pedersen's leader of the AM drivers. Obviously, he's in the race. Come on, Sam. He's seasoned, mate. Christensen is 2nd place, though, out of the AM drivers. Credit to him. After really spinning on lap 1 of race 1. He's done very well since then. Liam Slip Diffs. Are we winning? Liam, you need to remind me which team you're part of. You're not part of Nick Horn's team, because if you are, you're not. And I don't think you ever expected you would be.
Lovely. Said the impartial commentator.
I want Nick to win, yeah? But he needs to keep on practicing. Credit to Nick, though. He does take part in the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup coaching sessions, which are on Wednesday evenings, I think, this season. Being coached by Michael Yanni. And last season in this season, at the end of the season, we basically had a bunch of interviews with the drivers, and everyone came in and they just said, thanks to Michael Yanni for teaching me how to drive this car. They really are appreciative, and Michael is, I think, probably the best coach of anyone in iRacing for this Porsche Cup car. And yeah, you can get coaching yourself by going to apexracingac.com, get yourself a subscription, and involved in your subscription are those free group coaching sessions on a Thursday evening, on a Wednesday evening, apologies. And yeah, do check it out. Here comes the lead, and Streese has passed, but back
he's
comes
got a good run,
Pedersen
though.
with a very early application of the throttle. He needs to try to get clear before they get into the Mercedes grandstand, but he's not quite there, and Streese is going to have the better line, and he has taken the lead, and the Dutch driver is in line for a first ever Porsche Cup win if he can hold on for another 7 minutes.
Yeah, lovely move. He's going to be able to follow him nice and closely here. See, I don't think this is over. On the subject of Michael Yanni, my prep last week 2 weeks ago for Pescal Stars was having a coffee, just stood there talking to Michael about every corner, about his gear advice and things to look for the tyres. I spent more time prepping with him, just having a chat while having a coffee, than I did prep in the sim. Yeah, so, I mean, it's only 4 corners, come on. Watkins Glen Oval, I call it.
Yeah.
4 right-hand corners. He made me change one of my gears. I told him the gears I used, he told me the gears I'm using, and I used his gears. And yeah, that was it. I listened to what he said, did what he told me to do, and had a really strong result. I don't think I quite had his pace, but we're learning.
So Strumeri still with a train of cars behind. This is so different to the Strumeri that we saw in race 1. He went up through the order after a poor start and nearly caught the leader by the end. Not in this race. Destraz with a fantastic chance at passing him into the hairpin. Is he going to go for the Strumeri Classic of a dummy? He's not, he's just going to wait in behind. Dimbolo still in 5th place, catching back up to these guys after his mistake a couple of laps ago. And joining onto the back of these guys is James Parker and Alexander Chalet. Chalet up 19 places. The guy is only 3 seconds off a podium. Extraordinary pace from the Frenchman.
Yeah, it just looks like I can't tell if people are just running too much wing here. I mean, I'd run lowest wing, max rake. That's what I'd run here. 100%. Sure. No question about it. I wouldn't care what setup shot. I mean, I would check the Apex Racing setup shot because they know best. But yeah, it's a GP circuit. Lots of grip. I'm surprised that the hairpin run doesn't have more overdrive. Seems like they're only doing it in the braking phase.
Oh no,
ooh,
Kevin
ooh.
Richard, come on, come on. Ah, they're not going to make it to the next corner.
No. WWF match about to start.
It's going to be a crash. No, we're all right. Don't send it. Don't send it. Okay, we're all right, people. I'm amazed they made through that. That seemed to be getting, WWE.
I could see their windows are wound down as well, which is never a good sign. Let's see. Big gaggle.
So, will Destraz send it this time? He didn't send it last time. No. I mean, he's braking so early as Destraz. Dimbolo's just going to be able to send it soon. And
everyone got a hit there.
A lot of bonking. Pedersen only 0.3 of a second behind Streese, by the way. Streese's lap times have just fallen away a little bit, and Pedersen is now saying his best times of the race, so they're sort of merged to one another in terms of lap time. And it's still competitive in the top 2, but we've got another 2 laps to go to decide this race. Oh no, they did collide in the end. We knew it was going to happen.
We were just,
but it looks like Forsland has got away. Oh, that's not the racing line. That was Chalet losing it that time. James Parker staying ahead of him. Chalet trying to make up a 20th position in this race. Oh, into the pits.
Yeah.
Destraz, he's gone over the instant limit. Gosh. What a good race it would have been for Destraz. I mean, it makes sense now why he wasn't going for the move, because he didn't want to risk getting a 4X, but he's picked up a 1X somewhere. That is not the man who I thought was going to go over.
T1.
Yeah, that must be that.
100%.
And maybe a 4X on that one.
I've done it in officials before where the race hasn't gone my way at the start. I've just used the 1x every lap until they're 16, and then I'm like, okay, now that's it.
Yeah.
And now I just have to push on my own. It's just worth time, unfortunately. Well, if you're willing to smash your suspension across all the bumps and pray you can keep it straight. In the pest race, in the GTPs, I was completely sideways coming off because the GTP kept bottoming out because we were using the sprint, the like endurance fixed set.
Sure. Yeah.
So early in the route, yeah, I'd bottom out the suspension and be completely sideways. I managed to catch it and carry on going.
Apologies, Lazarus trying to get past Kirsten's.
It's a nice livery they run, by the way, the blackout team.
Yes.
Like that spray painty look.
Not sure what OPR stands for. All these acronyms. Not a fan of.
One Pure Racing. I don't know.
You sure?
Another spray painty looking livery, 88 Tech Racing.
Oh no, another one's got a... Oh, it's Dimbolo this time. He's got the drive-through. Limited to 17. Same as the officials, but this race is a bit longer than the officials.
It is, yeah. Yeah, 17's brutal.
Unless they've underfueled. Very possible they've underfueled. But yeah, the one previous did definitely just drive straight through. And Dimbolo's driven straight through. Fortunately, it's not the longest pit lane, so
no, not at all.
He drops back. Oh, well, he's almost around Lazarus here. I mean, this is a crazy three of Lazarus, Dimbolo, and Destras. That could be the top three in this race. But instead, they're fighting outside the top 10. And poor Kirstens has got to try to scamper away from them and hold on to what would be a really nice P9 for him.
It's amazing how much all this lap time it costs having to defend the hairpin every lap.
Did you say that on performance racing?
I did, yeah, but I was making it up. No, I said pure.
Oh.
One pure.
Oh, Kirstens, no, Kirstens. I was hoping he'd hold on, but he hasn't. He's collided with Lazarus because Dimbolo and Destras got past the pair of them. Swan very close as well. But Streese might be the highest point scorer from tonight. It'll be him or Amstrameri, I think.
Yeah,
the
for
highest
sure.
scorers. And a very good race too from him. Worked his way up through the order in the early stages. And once he got onto the back of Pedersen, it did not take him long to overtake. And has held on under close scrutiny in these closing stages. And it'll be Tommy Streese who takes the race win. The Dutch driver, his first race win in the series. Pedersen, top of the YAM drivers. There was a late move for Chalet to get past Parker, and Chalet ends up 22 places higher than he started.
Yeah, I saw that. Literally the last moments of the race, we saw change of position.
Lazarus...
Oh, there's Traz is in...
He let past Kirstens, I think, because he felt guilty.
And a few people driving through the pits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Destraz, Lazarus... No, Lazarus didn't, sorry. Yeah, a few people...
Well, Destras already served a drive-through, didn't he? Couldn't have picked up another 6X, could he? I mean, it's possible.
No. I mean, why serve it? It wouldn't do anything. Because you're going to take checkered.
Everyone always does that. You haven't seen enough of these races. Everyone always tries to serve this.
What, the Bathurst trick?
Yeah, well, I think of it as the Schumacher trick of serving the stop-go on the last lap. It doesn't work, and I'm surprised.
At Bathurst it does. Well, no, in Bathurst it does in the sense of you're quicker to the finish.
Oh, sure.
Because you're going to get the 40-second penalty.
Well, same with Silverstone.
Yeah.
But that's an explicit rule that you're not allowed to do. We had someone actually do that about a month ago in pit stops, and they got told off for it.
Yeah, damn right.
One of the front runners, actually, as well. Let's have a look then at the results for the race 2 of the evening. And it was Tommy Streese who won ahead of Ben Pedersen. Yeah, I think Pedersen, highest scorer out of the amateur drivers tonight. Streese, the joint highest scorer out of the pros, along with Mateus Tremeri. Varbanov a bit under the radar, but he picked up with the late drive-throughs to finish in 4th place. There was Chalet, Parker, Lane, Christensen, Kirstens. Managed to recover back to 9th. Oh man, there were a lot of post-race penalties. Because Kirstens shouldn't have been 9th, but he is Lenosburg, Swan, Berm, Bremer, Fiedelack, Orn, Forsland, Richard, and Veselak. Then Dimbolo got a post-race penalty. There was Heritage. Then Lazarus got a post-race penalty, and Desjazz took a post-race penalty. That's crazy, because they got to 17 instants and then served their drive-through, and then they got another 6 in the last 2 laps, because then that's the second drive-through that you get.
Yeah,
and they all got to.
If that's what it was, we're assuming.
Well, it was a post-race penalty, though. So what else could it be a post-race penalty for? Unless they sped.
True. What, sped on pit exit? I'm not sure. Yeah. That seems...
across the pit exit line.
6 in a couple laps is difficult, though. I mean, a 4x, a 1 in 1 and a 4x that's 5, so maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Messy. And so, yeah, that's the results then for race 2. A pretty chaotic night of racing, honestly. And we will get an interview with a couple of our drivers. I will give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, though, which is VRS. And of course, you can buy your VRS equipment over at apexracingsim.com. And of course, VRS providing their pedals, their wheelbase, and their wheel rim. All some of the best equipment you can get in sim racing, particularly their pedals used by many pro drivers, and of course all the drivers in Apex Racing Team as well using the VRS equipment, plus their rig as well, and all the extra accessories that they can get on it. Really great stuff. So do visit apexracingsim.com in order to get your VRS equipment, but you can also get your cube controls and your Huizenveld engineering equipment as well. But let's have a chat with one of our drivers, and we will first drag up Tommy van der Stries, who joins us now. Tommy, congratulations, man. That is what I think is the joint highest score tonight. It's also a race 2 win. You must be delighted.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good race. Did debut in the Porsche Cup class, so very happy.
Absolutely. What attracted you to the Porsche Cup? Because we've seen you in single seaters in the past. What was it about the Porsche Cup that you wanted to race?
Just the competition in the Porsche Cup looked way higher than Formula cars, so I gave it a shot and I quite like it.
Yeah, it seems to have worked very well for yourself. That race won some good battles, particularly between yourself and Matteo. Talk us through sort of the racing that happened over those sort of 5 laps or so that you were real close to one another.
The start was alright. I had a bit of wheel spin and then got quite close into turn 2. Just managed to get into P2 and then they started fighting behind me and I could get a gap and go off the bend.
Yeah, and that was a real good charge from yourself towards the end. And once you got past, Ben seemed to stay pretty close to you. Were you just managing that gap in those closing stages, or were you a bit concerned that you might come back?
Yeah, he was quite quick when he was behind me, and I was just trying not to make a mistake and just finish the race.
Absolutely. Well, it was a fantastic start to the season for yourself. We've got Brands Hatch next. I think it's on the Indy circuit as well. I think that's what the official series is using. You looking forward to that one, or do you think it's going to get a bit repetitive?
I've never driven there before, so I'll get a lot of laps in and hope for the best.
Well, best of luck for that one, Tommy. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to CV Performance Group and then Apex for the subs.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Tommy, and hope to see you back on the top step next week.
Yeah, GG.
Thank you.
So that was Tommy van der Stries there.
Not a bad debut.
Not a bad debut in the Porsche Cups. Yeah, of course, he's done, I think, 2 seasons of F4 in the past as Tommy. And yeah, it's good to see him try the Porsche Cup. I mean, I would say the F4 and the Porsche Cup are both cars that you drive for the racing a lot of the time. Like,
Yeah.
Like they are proper race cars rather than necessarily maybe sort of cars that you just drive for fun necessarily. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that you'd be attracted to these as well.
Yeah, but still, just keeping these cars in that window of lock and tyre overheat is real tricky in these cars, especially for someone on their debut, especially someone like a track like this. having to manage the hairpin over and over again. And, defending seems easy. Of course it is. But end of the day, you need to take a poor line to defend over and over again. So, yeah, really impressive result.
Absolutely. We'll give the drivers a couple more minutes to join the Discord and hopefully have a chat. But looking ahead to next week, I think it is Brands Hatch Indy that for some reason has been picked.
So chat just said it's the Grand Prix layout.
Oh, it is the Grand Prix layout. Oh, someone told me it was the Indy layout. But okay, it's the Grand Prix.
Good.
I'm a little bit
Great
disappointed. I was sort of,
Oh no.
we've gone to the Grand Prix
No.
layout a fair few times between GT3 Trophy and Porsche Cup and whatever.
No.
Indy would have been fun, like hilarious.
Nah. No,
30
that
minutes
is
of
such a
practice
stupid right-hander.
It is quite a.
It gets rid of the left-hander, which is such a good corner.
Sometimes, I've gone to like events before at like circuits, and sometimes they got like a rig set up.
Yep.
And the number one circuit they put on the rig
True.
for a hot lap competition is Brands Hatch Indy.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I do think it's a bit of a rubbish circuit because none of the corners I think are particularly satisfying. I think the best part of the circuit is actually that extended area. But I think it just would have been funny to see because no one would be able to overtake.
That is
no
a
one's going to be able
wicked.
to overtake anyway.
That is a wicked schedule. That
It
is
is.
wicked.
Yeah.
That's not missing anything. Honestly, that is that's everything. I mean, Road America, Road Atlanta, and VIR throwing Bathurst and the Nordschleife. You got Zandvoort with the banking, Spa for the Heritage, Hockenheim for the GP, Sebring for the Enduro lovers, and Mugello the new track. I mean, that's a schedule. Yes, iRacing's showing off.
Well, yeah. Well, credit to the to the Porsche Cup community for voting and having those tracks, and yeah, it will be good to visit each one of them. Oh, we got Nick Horn. Do you want to have a chat with Nick Horn?
Yep, let's. You can drag him up. Hello, Nick. Can you hear me okay?
Hello, yes, I can. Can you hear me all right?
Perfect, my friend. How did you get on? Porsche Cup, Hockenheim. You enjoy the race?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Had a really good time. Race one was a bit bashy. I'm going to have to go back and have a look at how bad it might have been. But yeah, race two was much better.
Excellent. Is this a car you drove? You drove this last season, right? If I remember rightly.
I did, yeah. It's the car I drive the most, to be honest, and I do the training on the weeknights with Michael.
Of course, yeah. I remember Sam mentioning. Sorry, yeah. Sam knows everything about you. He's mentioned your name loads. So
I'm a big fan.
yes,
Cheers, Sam.
I'm winging it right now. So yeah. How do you find this track, and how are you looking forward to the schedule? Is there any standouts for you? Any tracks you're nervous about?
I really love this track, actually. I'm disappointed the race one went so bad, to be honest, because I'm pretty competitive at this track. I'm not looking forward to next week at all. I really hate Brands Hatch.
Oh, that's my home circuit. I grew up just the other side of the fence. I could hear it. Me and my sister used to there was a hole in the fence, so is it illegal? We used to go through the
It
woods.
sounds quite illegal, yeah.
and then we'd-
sounds quite
It does
dangerous.
sound quite illegal.
It was dangerous, but well, we were still far from the track. But yeah, once we peered through the woods, we could see a corner.
Okay, yeah.
I'm only an
missed
hour
that.
away, and I love watching racing there, but I don't get on with it as a circuit to race. I like the Indy circuit, but the GP circuit makes me angry.
Oh, okay. And
It'll be fine.
Sam was telling me you invited your teammate along for this race. How
I
was
have,
the-
yeah. Yeah, I took him out in race one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was good. Yeah, we had good fun in race two. We were quite close to each other. I've got a third teammate next week, so there should be three of us crashing into each other at the back.
And setup-wise, I was watching and I noticed the draft wasn't as extreme as I had pictured this combo being. Was it a low wing? Or were you running wing 4? Are you able to say?
I was running wing 4. Yeah, it wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be either.
Strange, maybe they've changed something, because I just remember Porsche Cup and Hockenheim always being a lot more. It just seemed like most of the hairpin work was all under braking, not under. It wasn't almost side by side at the hairpin until the braking phase.
Yeah, I was definitely running the brakes into the hairpin, and there's a few people who, including myself, who got it a bit wrong and took an alternative line.
That happens at this track, especially on colder tyres. But no, congratulations. Unlucky in the first race. Congratulations on the second. Anyone like to give a shout out to?
Just give a shout out to my teammates and everyone on my Discord who generally annoy everyone else in chat. So thanks so much, and
Brilliant.
Cheers to you guys. I'll see you in chat for the late Apex show in about half an hour.
Excellent. I look forward to it. All right, thank you, Nick.
Cool. Cheers. Catch you later.
Cheers, later. Nick Horn?
Nick Horn.
I feel like I was struck, like, you know him like he's your brother, and I'm asking questions like, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that Nick did well, because last season we had the effort, start of the season, lowest I-rated driver. Thought if we can get him off the bottom of the table with one. Last race of the season, he finishes last. And we think, oh no, we failed this guy. But tonight, finished 18th out of 27. So he's gone up.
We invited someone lower than him and then took him out in late race 1.
He did, yeah.
So he really wanted to skew that. Yeah.
But yeah, he really didn't want to finish last. Yes, Nick finishing 18th. Congratulations there to him. Yeah, we will be back for the late Apex in a few minutes' time, so do keep tuned on Apex Racing TV for all of that. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel so you can watch all the future rounds of this championship. It's going to be going over the next 3 months or so, so plenty to watch. And of course, if you want to take part in the action, do go to apexracingleague.com in order to sign up. Thanks to our sponsors, Apex Racing Academy, to VRS, to SDK Gaming, to Apex Racing Simulators as well for sponsoring the broadcast, and do check out all their products in the description below, and do check out the Apex Racing TV and Apex Racing League social medias on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. But for now, we'll be back in just a few minutes time for the late Apex, but from the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup, we'll say goodbye and we'll see you back next week at Brands Hatch. See you then.
Ciao.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.